In this video, we're going to be looking at another one of the classic Marx playsets. In this instance, it's the boot camp playset, the carry-all action boot camp playset. Now, I did not have this as a kid. As a matter of fact, I never even knew that it existed because I wasn't really a Marx collector until the time that I found it next to my Fort Apache. Which, if you watched my other video, you saw the story about how I found the Fort Apache at a flea market, and this thing was next to it. Now, when I got this playset, only a few things were in it. There was some of the soldiers, there was some tents, the big tents and the small tents. There was the flag with the flagpole, and a few bits and bobs and little extra pieces like these big guns, which you can see on the graphics on the box are actually, they were actually included originally in the playset. Like I said, I never had this as a kid, so I didn't know, what came with it and what didn't and all that kind of thing. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't have too many Marx soldiers like this. I had the Marx, the cowboys, and I had the Indians, and I had the spacemen, and I did have a few of the soldiers, but mostly what I had was the Tim Mee Company, and that's a lot of these guys up front, and I'm going to be showing you some close-ups of these in a little bit. Now, the thing is, I do remember specifically getting this tank in a plastic bag with about, I don't know, a dozen maybe of the Timmy soldiers in it at the supermarket with my mom, because I'll never forget it, because I got them. I was extra good that day, and as a reward while we were shopping, I guess because I didn't yell or scream or anything, she got me a bag with the tank and the soldiers in it. And there was like a variety, little mix of them. And I don't remember exactly what was in there, but I definitely remember getting the tank. And there's some dirt on here from my backyard, which is a kind of a running theme through some of my videos. I also had this truck when I was a child. The top comes off and you could set the soldiers in the back. I remember that. And I had the cannon and howitzers and stuff because they actually hook onto the back of them. Now, some of these darker green figures and soldiers and vehicles and things like that, I think I picked up over the years basically at auctions. They would be in the bottom of a box full of books or something. I know, like the ones up front there with the little teeny tiny Jeep and the boat, they were just in a box that I picked up at a auction. In other words, it's a hodgepodge of things, but most of these central soldiers and all these vehicles I had from like the age of 5, 6 on up, and I managed to save them. Now, unfortunately, I don't have it anymore, but my grandfather carved a set of wooden blocks and a box that held them, and they would slide under a couch in the front room of my grandmother's house. And what we would do is we would set up and make a castle or a fortress and set up the soldiers as if they were guarding it, and have our little war games and things like that. Especially like on rainy days or snowy days. It was the most amazing, wonderful time. It sounds kind of sappy right now, but that's kind of what we did back then. It was really cool. And you used your imagination, which is something that all these toys have in common. Now, some of these guys, like the ones that are this weird bluish color, I just remember these two from my childhood. And the only thing I know is that my brother told me they came from a set he had, and they were called the Marines. I don't know why. They had different colors for different armies. The Germans would be gray, maybe, and the Americans were always this the olive drab, and I know that like the Confederates were gray and the Union were blue, and you know what I mean? They had different colors for the different soldiers. And these were also when I was a child. And again, he said these were Marines. I don't know why, but they are a different color from, say, the later Timmy ones. You can easily tell the difference. A lot of the ones I had as a kid, they were hit with the lawnmower or, played with so much that they broke, especially the mortars. I noticed that the guys firing the mortars up here, not a single one survived with the little teeny crossbeam intact. It's just because the plastic just gets brittle over the years. So anyway, I got this carrying case with some of the original soldiers in it. It's very similar to the Fort Apache. It shows fencing and everything, but in this case it just has headquarters and barracks instead of stable. That's all. But this is just the only example that I have that I never even saw as a child, but I'm glad to add it to the collection. So that about does it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you had any of these as a child, please let us know. Drop something in the comments, like, share, subscribe, do all of that, and we will see you again next time. And yes, this is an authentic World War I Doughboy helmet.